Triple Cross Podcast, a Belly Up media production. I'm John at John J3X. That's Casey. We give stuff away. That's how this show works. We're giving away gift cards today. Gift cards for NFL jerseys, for NFL helmets, for cards, whatever you're into, whatever you want. Our partner, DAP Sports, is graciously providing the gift cards. Here's how it works. If you're new to the show, lots of people new here today, I know, got to sign into Playback. Make your little account. Should be pretty easy. Sign in, join the room, and chat in. Let us know that you're here. That's how we know to get you entered to win a gift card. We create a little wheel of names, and somebody on the wheel wins the gift card. We're going to talk about some football things right now. Casey, we got to kick it off with some TB12, with some Mr. Brady, Mr. Goat himself. He was on the Stephen A. show last week, and he said some stuff. He fired some shots, my guy.
Yeah, I haven't seen the video yet, heard about this video. Can't wait to see what was said, because I know it wasn't the nicest thing.
Yeah, no. I think we got the clip, and then so we'll watch the clip, and then we'll give our feedback on it. You know, as we're from the Tom Brady era, man. Like, that's how we came up in football. So we'll see what we think.
I think there's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL. Yeah. I don't see the excellence that I saw in the past.
Why not? Why not?
I think the coaching isn't as good as it was. I don't think the development of young players is as good as it was. The rules have allowed a lot of bad habits to get into the actual performance of the game. Mm-hmm. So I just think the product, in my opinion, is less than what it's been. I look at a lot of players like Ray Lewis and Rodney Harrison and Ronnie Lott, and guys that impacted the game in a certain way, and every hit they would have made would have been a penalty. You hear coaches complaining about their own player being tackled, and not necessarily, why don't they talk to their player about how to protect himself? We used to work on the fundamentals of those things all the time. Now they're trying to be regulated all the time. Offensive players need to protect themselves. It's not up to a defensive player to protect the offensive player. A defensive player needs to protect himself. I didn't throw the ball to certain areas because I was afraid players were going to get knocked out. Mm-hmm. That's the reality. Wow. I didn't throw it to the middle when I played Ray Lewis because you knock him out of the game, and I couldn't afford to lose a good player.
All right, Casey. Look, we like to kind of bitch about this. You know what I mean? This is like one of those things where, NBA players are soft now, or NFL players are soft now. And really every generation ever has thought the next youngest generation is soft. That's just how it goes. Older people always think younger people are soft. Is this real? Is this, CTE, I'll let me start here. Let me start with maybe the counterpoint here is like, CTE and like long-term effects and brain damage on players is like very real and documented. And there's like a lot of ex-NFL players that have like Parkinson's and other like brain injury issues down the line. So, I guess to a degree I can understand a lot of the rules that have come into effect. But does he have a point here?
No, John, controversial point maybe, but CTE is fake. It was made up by the Illuminati.
It's like Pluto. It's like Pluto. It's not even a real planet.
Right. Yeah. No. I don't want to disregard what you're saying, that every generation thinks the generation prior is soft. Really, inside or outside of sports. Honestly, it's not.
That was a sweeping generalization.
Right. I think it is like pushed further in this generation because of media, because of social media. Big time. There's a lot more blowback these days. Canceling people wasn't really a thing, or any of these like social repercussions that you've seen pop up in the last 10 years, let's say. They never really existed before. So yeah, there's a lot more blowback. You can't really sweep things under the rug. So these injuries, the NFL has had to respond to it in a way that is like overcompensating, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not a matter of like the players themselves necessarily like being softer. The game is different now, and that might be a little bit that I think that has a case for being like an actual gripe, is that, hey, you've kind of taken away all of the defense, not just hard hits, but kind of the ruggedness of the sport to some degree, for sure. Like, you can't even argue that the game looks entirely different than if you pulled up some random game from the 90s. So yeah, I think Tom Brady has some valid points for sure. I'm in that camp big time. And I think it is worse for the sport overall because you do see offenses, the NFL wants to see offense. They want to sell tickets. They think offense sells tickets. I think that's kind of a faulty premise, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe the most casual fans, that's somewhat true. But I think they've shot themselves in the foot because, now all of a sudden these guys aren't able to compete against defenses that somehow aren't even able to do the things they've been able to do, since football's come into existence. So defenses can do a lot less. Offenses not really any better and actually look a lot worse skill wise.
I think that his best point that he made was it's the offensive player's job to protect himself. It's not the defensive player's job to protect the offensive player. They're protecting themselves. It gets pretty tough. And even some of the targeting stuff that you see or whatever, I'm fine with rules that, are don't lead with the helmet. But this is even going the offensive way too. I think Josh Jacobs got a $25,000 fine for leading with his for playing football. Basically, he got a $25,000 fine for playing football. He just ran through a hole in the line, and they're like, no, you put your helmet too low, and you led with your helmet. That definitely happens to defenses more than offenses. And so I mean, I guess I get it. Real targeting where guys were using their helmet as missile and trying to earhole people. I'm fine with that, but I feel where they just say, oh, any lead with the helmet, even if it's not intentional. I feel there's an intentionality where the NFL is just saying no, we call it every time, regardless of how intentional it is. I feel in order for it to be as extreme as, they're calling it, there should be this was intentional targeting. Even the word feels like it's an intentional thing, targeting. And that's just one example, right? Whereas now you throw the ball over the middle and guys aren't getting hit as hard because of that rule. He's we can't really lead with our helmets, and having to not lead with our helmets puts us in this weird, how do we tackle thing? So yeah, I don't know. Obviously I like to see big hits. I like big defensive plays. I want, players to be healthy long-term, but yeah, I mean, look, I think you and anybody's always going to be biased to the game they grew up with.
I think the point that stands regardless of whatever era you grew up in, because there's plenty of newer fans or younger fans that really have only known the sport more or less how it is now.
Yeah.
You can't speak away the fact that it's not enforced across the boards regularly. It's all over the place. They don't know how to, because some refs are judging based off of intent somewhat. Some of them don't factor that in at all. By position matters a lot, right? Quarterbacks can get away with anything. A quarterback can lower his helmet more often than not, and it's never going to get called for something, right? Meanwhile, if you're a defensive lineman right now or a defensive back, if you breathe on a guy, it's a foul. So, and especially if you're on a team that's not very good, if you're on a good team, maybe you get a little bit more grace. It's putting more power in the hands of the ref. And I don't know, maybe we say this every year, but it does feel like this year more than ever, outcomes are being determined by a lot of these big plays. I think it was just this, maybe it was last week, the week before this most recent week, actually. I can't even remember which game I was watching, but something like a 3rd and 30 kind of situation turns into a first down on a, meaningless penalty that you look at it, even in slow motion, you say, that doesn't really look like a penalty to me.
Yeah.
And they're just handing out first downs. I've always thought that they kept games close, on purpose. Yeah. And they always tend to give the benefit of the doubt to the team behind just to keep it close. So it just rubs me the wrong way. It feels really gross. And until there's no ammo left there, until it becomes something that's kind of automated by AI or whatever, it just feels like they're messing it up more than they're helping the sport.
Yeah. Hey, end of the day, Tom Brady says that there's mediocrity. Tom Brady says they're soft. Tom Brady says it. Then that, I mean, what do we know? What do you and I know? We're talking about the GOAT. All right. So if Tom Brady says it, I think it's fact. Playback listeners, we appreciate you. There are a few of you who are showing up as visitors. So I'm going to show you guys something really quick. This is how we determine our giveaway winners. I'm going to share my wheel. You guys want to see my wheel? I'm going to share this real quick. Screen share. Sorry about that. Sorry about it. Share this tab. Boom. So there's my wheel. That's all the people. That's everyone who's eligible to win a gift card. If you don't see your name on there and you're like, what the heck? I'm watching. I want to win an NFL gift card. I want to win, a gift card. It's because you need to chat. You need to chat into the playback, like chat and tell me that you're here. In order to do that, you're going to have to make a playback account and join our room. So that's how you chat. You got to join the room. In order to join the room, you got to have an account. So I think I want to do a spin right now, but I want to give everybody I just told that to a chance to do that. AJ, yes, Yaskowiak. Yeah, AJ, I see you. New to playback, I see. Welcome, AJ. Good to have you here. AJ, you are on the wheel now, and you are eligible to win. Anyway, yes, I will give the other few people who are still visitors a second before we do this one. But I just wanted to, show you guys that's what you need to do. Tom Brady definitely has a point. I agree. I'm just going to default to agreeing with Mr. Brady. All right, Casey, let's go from the old goat to the new maybe goat. Like, what was Mahomes? What's like almost a goat? What's an animal that's almost a goat? A sheep?
Sure.
Is a sheep almost a goat? Let's go from the goat to the sheep to the lamb. Go from the goat to the lamb, from Tom Brady to Pat Mahomes. Does Kansas City have a wide receiver problem? Pat Mahomes won't admit it. He won't throw them under the bus. He refuses to throw them under the bus. But look, when you throw people balls and you hit them in the hands or in the chest, that's like a pretty good place usually for them to be able to catch it. That's like the whole thing. If I hit you in the hands, you should catch it, especially if you play in the NFL. But Mahomes won't throw him under the bus. I think we have a clip of him, right?
Yeah, I have no regret. They triple teamed Travis, so I went to the guy that won downfield, and Marquez won. Just didn't come away with the ball. I could probably throw a little bit shorter. He was that open. So, you just got to continue to try to get better and better. Defense is keeping us in games, and if we can find a way to just get a little bit better as an offense, we're going to win a lot of these games.
That was Dan Orlovsky was the tweet overlaid over the top of that. Dan Orlovsky, ex-NFL QB, I believe. Analysis extraordinaire. He breaks down offensive game film from every single game and does deep analysis on it. I don't know. I think he says he refuses to throw Mahomes refuses to throw the receiving room under the bus. Here's where I'm at on it. It is the receiver's fault. Is Mahomes ever going to throw him under the bus? No.
I wouldn't say never. He just hasn't yet, maybe. Enough frustrations mount, and who knows? This is a team still in a pretty good spot, even though they feel like they should be at the very top of the league. They might not be quite there right now, but if they get to a bad enough spot, push has to come to shove to some degree. But the main thing I would say about this is that, we talked about it before the show. We have this like segment kind of written up, like, do the Chiefs have a wide receiver problem? Mm-hmm. And that's a question you could argue back and forth. But the real question to me is, like, is this unexpected? Because that's what really makes attitudes turn sour quick, is you expect there to be an answer, and then that answer turns out to be a non-answer. That's what gets people frustrated. And seeing Marquez Valdez-Scantling beat DBs in the NFL deep and then miss a wide open pass, whether it's a good throw or not, I guess. That's his entire NFL career, honestly. He's been spoiled with quarterback play at Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, and he moves to Kansas City to play with Patrick Mahomes. You can't complain about the quarterback play of those guys. They're top 5 quarterbacks every single season he's played with them. So I guess my thing is maybe the Chiefs could have a little bit deeper receiver room, but this isn't news. They set up this receiver room to look this way. So
yeah, well, and I think you kind of said, like, it's not like it hasn't kind of always been this way. They had Tyreek Hill, so there was that. But aside from him, I guess I've always thought of it like, oh, it's the Chiefs there, but it really is like Pat Mahomes with 2 targets and a bunch of also rans. this seems like even when they had Tyreek Hill, like they've kind of always had a receiver problem, right?
Yeah,
Other than Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Aside from
yeah, as far as depth goes, yeah, absolutely. When they had Tyreek Hill, they never really had a notable second. And now even with Kelce, it's like we're talking about it again now this week for a reason. And I think it's popped up other certain weeks for the same reason. It's a lot more noticeable when Travis Kelce isn't filling up the stat sheet and when he's dropping passes in particular. He's the one guy on that team who isn't supposed to drop passes. He's supposed to be clutch on all the third downs in the red zone. We saw Mahomes go to him several times in clutch moments in last night's game, and he just wouldn't answer the bell. So that is tough on a guy like Mahomes, who feels like a playmaker, a guy who extends plays really well, puts the ball where it's supposed to be more often than not. And I mean that schematically and as far as like the accuracy of a throw, like where does it hit the receiver, as far as in the hands and numbers, things like that. I mean, you can't really ask for a better quarterback as far as those things go. He's making it as easy as possible, and these guys still aren't getting the job done for the most part.
Yeah.
That's kind of part of the game. Again,
if this has always been how it is for the Chiefs, though, like how detrimental is this really? I mean, the segment's called "The Chiefs Have a Receiver Problem," which they do, but maybe it's just like, yeah, that's fine. They don't care about that problem. They're fine with that problem.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, it doesn't get nearly enough credit. They don't get enough credit for their defense is way better than it's been ever in this like Super Bowl era that they've been. They had 1 year where they had a pretty decent defense, but this is, I think, far and away their best defense they've ever had. They're keeping teams to a lot lower point totals.
Yeah,
they're getting some turnovers on defense. The offense is weirdly kind of the bugaboo here on this team, and I don't know what they're gonna. I don't know what they're going to do, but they also have a better running back room probably than they've had for a while. So yeah, I mean, this is what happens. Like you give up a guy like Tyreek Hill, your receiver room takes a big hit, but you make up for it in other spots. And I think they really have. Mostly it's a nothing burger. They're the Chiefs. They're a top 5 team in the NFL, no matter how you slice it. Yeah. But their makeup is different. And when it comes down to those matchups against those other top teams, maybe deep in the playoffs, then it might really come down to it, where you see the receivers dropping balls. That could be the difference.
Look, they could put my 75-year-old grandma in at wide receiver and probably still be a 10-win team. That's just like, they don't need it. Just, hey, grandma, stand there. I'll throw you the ball if I need to, but I probably won't need to because I got number 87, right? 87, yeah. No, I mean, they've been able to overcome it before. Will they be able to overcome it again? I hope not. I hope that somebody knocks them off in that long-term Pat Mahomes contract and all their that the bloat that they've had to bring in that has cost them the receivers catches up to them, right? Because then it's just a more exciting league. If it's just the Chiefs winning all the time, it's not as exciting.
I wouldn't count on it. I mean, they're going to be a good team. I don't think they necessarily win a ton of championships from here.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they're a 10-win team with my 75-year-old grandma, but they're going to win a championship? I don't know.
For what it's worth, the best receiver that they have is a rookie right now. So they're going to have him for a extended amount of time, and he's only going to get better. So that's Rashee Rice, by the way.
That's true. Yeah. Well, that's the Chiefs. Hopefully, and honestly, like if he gets better, we still probably have a few years left of Kelce and him. If he's actually good, then they become a very serious threat. That's what it is. It's like if they hit on a rookie, that's kind of the Chiefs. All right, let's move into a spin now. I gave everybody a minute. AJ, I see you. AJ's new to the show. Welcome to Playback. Welcome to the show. Here's the wheel. This one's going to be for a $25 gift card. We're going to do another one probably at the end of the show if we have time. And then we'll obviously do several more during the basketball show, which will start in about 18 minutes. But I think I have everybody here. Let me know if you don't see your name on the wheel. I think everybody's on there, actually. So here's a spin, $25 gift card to DAP Sports, whoever this lands on. Ooh, and it is going to be Rose. Congrats to Rose. You know what to do. Razzles. Email triplecrosspodcast@gmail.com. We'll do another spin, hopefully at the end of this show. But Casey, I'm sorry, I'm rushing a little bit, guys, because we have a basketball show here in a little bit, and we got to get our picks in this week because we don't really have the liberty. Oh, I guess I can share this in. Sorry, a little technical thing here. We don't really have the liberty of kicking this till Friday like we usually do. We're usually big fans of doing this Friday, so we have like kind of the last news of the week before, but we can't because we may or may not do a show on Friday, but there's too many games on Thursday and Friday this week. It's Thanksgiving here in the States.
It is, John. So we have 4 games we have to get out of the way.
For sure.
To make sure we get out of the way here.
All right,
they're
so
going to happen
what do you
before
want to
our
do?
next episode.
Do you want to just kind of unpack these 4? Well, do you want to run through all of them in case we don't get a show in on Friday, or do you want to just do these 4 and count on getting a show in on Friday? Something we could have talked about before, but
let's run through them if we can.
All right, let's do it. All right. I don't know who's down. I don't know who's up. Do you want to go first or second? You just choose.
I would like to go. I'll let you go first.
All right, Packers at Lions to me in the NFC North. This has implications for my Vikings. I would love to see the Packers win. That'd be beautiful. But no, not in a straight pick 'em. Can't do it. Lions are something like 10-point favorites or something like that. And yeah, the Lions actually look good for the first time since Barry Sanders. So was that 30 years, something like that? Good for them. Good job, Lions. Enjoy it, Detroit. It's real tough, a sports city. Real tough to be a fan of any Detroit sports. So give them their moment. Casey, how about you?
Yeah, I'll take the same here. I'll take the Lions over the Packers. Not been a believer in the Packers all year. Largely, I have been a believer in the Lions. And
you were one of the first. You were one of the first on the Lions train. So
I was pretty early to the party.
Yeah. Okay, next up, we got Commanders at them boys. What do you think? Got faith in Sam Howell?
Love Sam Howell as a player. It's too bad he's on historically maybe one of the most inept franchises the league has ever seen.
That's just DC. That's DC for you.
I mean, get that football team out of there, honestly.
Yeah.
Give me the Cowboys here.
Cowboys. The team we love to hate. I got them too. I die a little inside every week. I hope one day that they're not good and we can just pick them to lose all the time. Niners at Seahawks. I like this one. Little Nifka West matchup. These teams are usually built for each other. Niners on paper and just in general, far better team than Seahawks. The Seahawks, more than any other team that is as good as the Seahawks are probably going to give them a run because they're going to be built for them. So I like this one. It's going to be a fun game to watch. But I've got the 49ers here. It's pretty hard to bet against this team when fully healthy.
Yeah, definitely. This is the first game of the week, the only game before the weekend proper that's a 1-score spread here.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we get a good game here. As I've said before on the program, the NFC tends to do this like rock paper scissors thing, minus the Cardinals, where the Seahawks always tend to be a thorn in the side of the Niners. The Niners tend to be, or the Rams tend to be a thorn in the side of the Seahawks. And yeah, whatever the scissors is to that. Anyway, Give me the Niners because they're incredible at football.
Yep. And the Niners are a thorn in the side to whoever comes out of the NFC if it's not them. The Eagles or the Cowboys. The Eagles, really.
Definitely the Packers and the Cowboys. Every year we knock them out of the playoffs. So
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I was thinking more Eagles because it's like you're a thorn in the side, but you don't knock them out. But
I don't like that, John.
It's breaking it down, right? Because the Seahawks are like the thorn in your side, but they don't knock you out, right? And the Rams are like the thorn in the Seahawks, but they don't knock them out. All right. Dolphins, Jets. This one's to me. Easy one. Black Friday game. You can shop or you can watch the Dolphins just freaking stomp all over the Jets. Who was the quarterback again? It was just some local guy, right?
Tim Boyle.
Timmy Boyle.
I think it's Tim. Is it Tim?
Yeah, Timmy Boyle. He's actually a homeless dude. Just lives near the stadium. They're like, hey, you want to play some football? He's like, I don't know what that means, but sure. And he's gonna be the quarterback this week for the Jets. They figured that would be better than Zach Wilson. In fact, Zach Wilson's all the way down to 3rd in the depth chart. So,
yeah, this should be the blowout of the week. Dolphins at Jets it's got to be the largest spread. No, actually, Cowboys and Commanders have a bigger spread. That feels like disrespect to the Commanders.
It's because the Jets' defense is so good.
I don't think it matters.
No, if the Jets put up, the Jets could legit put up 0 points. That would not. Be
and I don't care. I mean, I agree they have a good defense. I was early to that party too. Yeah. Dolphins. That's still not going to stop the Dolphins from putting up 35, 40 if they play right. So
they want, yeah. If they put up 20, they'll still win by 18. All right, here we go. So that is the Thursday, Friday games. On to Sunday. Bucks at Colts. That one's to you.
Bucks at Colts. This one should be close. As the season progresses, it's getting harder to choose underdogs to win because sports books are getting better. Yeah. There's more data collected on these teams as the season moves forward. This one, I think the Bucks are about 2.5 point underdogs, but I like it. I like them here. I think they're actually playing for something significant. They still have a shot at winning that Bucks division. They have a good chance at beating the Colts this week, I think, and becoming ultimately the winner out of that division. Meanwhile, the Colts on the flip side, they are stuck behind the Jaguars, pretty good team this year, and the Texans, the emerging probably best team out of that division. The Colts are going nowhere as far as the playoffs this year. So I think this is basically an experimentation year, knowing that they got Anthony Richardson coming back next year anyway. It's kind of just punt the season and reboot next year.
Yeah. I'll split with you on this.
All right.
The Colts have looked good. Gardner Minshew, minuscule. He's good. He seems to be decent football player. Seems like he could probably do a better starting job than some of the people who have starting jobs, like Zach Wilson.
Anthony Richardson.
TBD, I guess, on Anthony Richardson, but definitely better than like Zach Wilson. That's for sure. I guess he doesn't have a starting job.
Yeah,
anymore.
He's not a starter anymore. Newly third string.
Yeah, Gardner seems to be a guy who could be like maybe a top, just barely a starter type of guy.
For sure. I think so.
They've got good offensive talent. They've been playing like just tough all year. This is a good one. This is going to be a good one, I think.
I agree with you. I think that could be a really close game.
Sneakily could be the game of the week, and they could both score 25 points. So, it could be a nice like combination defensive offensive game. All right. Pats at Giants. This one's to me. The Giants are freaking awful. Like they're so
And the Pats
bad.
Are really good. Is that what you were going to say?
No, the Pats are bad too, but the Giants, like this is the toilet game of the week. The Giants are just really bad
also known as whatever game the Giants are in any week.
Yes. Well, I mean, sometimes they're in a game where it's like, oh, at least we get to watch somebody spank them. That's fun if you're into that, I'm into people, getting spanked. That's what I call a good Friday night. But yeah, the Pats, this is good. This one's going to be like both teams might score under 10 points.
Yeah.
If you're going to take a nap this Sunday, this is the game to take a nap during.
Well, the best player on the field is on the Giants side of the ball, luckily for the Giants. And it could help keep the score in check, at least. Like you said, could keep the Patriots from scoring too many points. Kayvon Thibodeau is a defensive stud. He is a real good player. Pro Bowl type of player. Too bad he can never really show what he's got on a team where they have no chance to win. The Giants are sad. It's almost to the point of like you're hoping Brian Dable was the answer. This is a complete tear down to the bolts and start over again. Get Saquon save Saquon from this team for the love of God. And Thibodeau also. I mean, I don't know. They're not going anywhere in the next 3 or 4 year window. So tear it all down, start over again.
Yeah.
Give me the Pats.
Yeah.
I don't have anything good to say about them, but
Right. No, yeah,
just enough bad to say about the Giants.
The Pats also suck, but maybe slightly less. I think just from pure pride, Belichick probably won't lose. That's the only good thing I could say about them. They have the best coach of all time, right?
They do. He doesn't need to. There's a development that I've seen kind of happen in the whispers and the rumors, at least.
Yeah.
Is people were worried that his seat is getting hot with the Patriots, so he's got to win to not lose his job.
I don't think.
Here's the thing: is like if he does lose that job, if he gets fired, he's getting hired somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, and he might get hired somewhere else with even more power. Weird enough to say. He could get full GM control still. And, your commitment to a guy like him in year one, it's a multi-year deal. So it's not like hanging on by a thread like he is now in New England. So,
all right, let's pump through these last games here.
Let's go.
Casey, Steelers, Bengals, the Burrow-less Bengals. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm taking a more and more firm stance against one team here every single week. And I started out the season this way, not believing in this team, similar to like the Packers. The Steelers, man, they're not a good football team. They have a great coach. Mike Tomlin's amazing. Kenny Pickett, maybe he's a top 40 quarterback. I don't know. That feels like gracious a little bit. They have some nice weapons, and TJ Watt's incredible. That defense can play games, but the Steelers, not a good football team. Give me the Bengals on a flyer here with Browning at quarterback. He showed some moxie at least. I don't think he's amazing, but
nah.
Why not here? Why not?
Yeah.
The spread is 1 point, by the way, without Joe Burrow in this game. So
yeah,
nobody's sure who's winning this game. And I want the Steelers to fall out of the playoffs. Because right now they're holding on to a playoff spot, which is ludicrous.
I'll split with you here. I think that's just kind of the Steelers, right? It's like Kenny Pickett has that Tim Tebow energy. I've said it before, where it's like, man, this guy is not good. Why does he keep winning games? I don't know. All right, Panthers, Titans. This one's to me. I'm whoever is playing the Panthers pretty much every week, unless they're playing the Giants. Then I'm lost. I don't know what to do. The Giants, Jets, Panthers. I'm off that train entirely. Who do you got here? Panthers? You like the Panthers in this one?
I mean, honestly, I get your process here. I'm probably going the same way. But you know how many wins the Titans have on the season?
Not that many. Like
3.
4? 3? That was
3.
Oh.
They're very bad.
Panthers have 1, I think. Yeah.
Difference being, I do think that the Titans are probably the better team, all things considered. So give me the Titans here.
All right, Jags Texans is one you bet on this week.
Mm-hmm.
I
bet on this
like
game.
the over.
I'll let this one slip. I bet on the over here. Yeah, just like you just said. I guess you let it slip. But I picked the over on this one. This is my lock of the week. I really think this is going to get out of hand in the scoring section, the scoring column of this box score. I did not say on our other show, Overtime Operators, which team I think ultimately wins this game. But I will here. Give me D'Amico Ryans and his Texans. I was on this team from the very jump of this season. I like the Jags too. Don't get me wrong. This is an infight of the division here. I think this is, if they had divisional tournaments, this would be the finals of the tournament. And this could determine who wins the division. Given that these matchups are so important, give me the Texans. I think they're going to the playoffs for sure.
I like it. I mean, I'll split with you again. I kind of think the Jags will win, but dude, if the Texans win, I'm like kind of excited about them. You know what I mean? I'm more excited about the Texans than I am about the Jaguars. If the Texans win, I'm gonna be kind of hyped. But yeah, I don't know if that I can really pick them. The Jags are pretty good. Pretty good football team.
Jags are I think they're both playoff teams, to be fair. Just the Texans have surprised me in offense. I thought the defense would be fine, but the offense is amazing.
All right, to the other South. Falcons and Saints, the under of the week, the freaking ugly AFC South, down dirty South matchup, low score. Who do you got?
NFC South.
NFC South matchup, dirty South, low score, all the things I said, but with an N instead of an A. Who do you got?
Yeah, this one also weirdly could determine the winner. These are the top 2 teams record-wise in the NFC South right now. Actually, like I said, I think the Bucs will take this division.
I think I'm up on this one, by the way.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to go Saints on this.
He's going Saints.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, I do think the Bucks will take this division. Currently, the Saints are the best team in the division, and I don't really see any reason to buck that trend. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be gross. I don't want to watch this game. I think if I had to pick the total amount of points scored in this game, it'll be about 24.
Jeez. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Only the Patriots and Giants could do worse.
Give me a 14-10 Saints win.
Yeah.
And if that happens, I mean
bonus points. All right. Rams at Cardinals. What do you like?
Rams at Cardinals. Man, interesting matchup here. Very interesting with Kyler Murray's return. I didn't figure he'd come out guns a-blazing so much like he did last week. I thought I'd give him a week to warm up, kind of acclimate. The Rams also just kind of falling from grace. They started out fine in the season. Let's get controversial here. Give me the Cards.
Yeah, I like the Rams. Browns
Kind of a
Broncos.
Rams guy.
Browns Broncos. To me, I believed in them early, and I don't know. Cardinals. I need more data. Browns Broncos. The Broncos actually look pretty dang good.
Taking out the league's best.
I know, and I mean they're on a yeah, okay, they've proved it. I've gone with this theme of if you prove it to me, then I'll stick with you. So yeah, I'm riding the Broncos.
That can be a safe way to do it, but you also, I mean, the league turns on a dime before you know it, so it's tough.
I mean, I'm not saying I always pick them right that way. I'm just being.
No, I get it.
Consistent.
You feel more confident in doing that, whether or not it's actually more likely to happen. I don't know. Maybe for that reason, actually, I'm going with the Browns here. It seems a bit unsustainable what the Broncos are doing. The Browns aren't the best team they've played by any stretch of the imagination in the last few weeks, but the Browns have this like grit to them. A lot of close games, but they tend to pull it out. And I think that defense is the best defense they've played in a minute, and their offense still has its gaps, its holes.
Yeah. All right, Bills Eagles. This is good. This should be a good one. Hopefully.
Oh, first.
We don't. Who knows? Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. Honestly, the Bills freaking roll the dice here. But what do you think?
Bills Eagles. This one wasn't really on my radar too much. I suppose that the Eagles should be the favorite here, and I just did confirm that they're 3.5-point favorites at home. I think that has a lot to do with it for me. I think either one of these teams at home, it's easier to sell as the winner. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles. And the cop-out is that they're at home, but I do think they're probably the better team, too.
I'd be with them if they were away as well.
I think I would, too, but it would be a lot. If this were in Buffalo, then I would have a lot harder time picking, at least.
Yeah, Chiefs Raiders, I don't even need to talk about this one, honestly. The Chiefs are the Chiefs are a good football team, solid football team, even if they have receiver problems. The Raiders
Give me the Chiefs as well, John.
Football team. The Raiders are the Raiders. Ravens Chargers.
Yeah, I'd love to get crazy here, but I'll go ahead and go with the Ravens, even though I have this as like a sneaky, like almost upset this week, because the Chargers, everybody's writing them off now, but they forget how just up and down they are week to week. And they're one of the teams that on their upswing might be good enough to beat the Ravens. So just look out for that, but the Ravens are a better team.
Yeah. For all those same reasons, I've got the Ravens. And then in the Monday night game, little NFC North matchup for my Vikings. Bears at Vikings. Vikings at home in Minnesota. I'm betting on them. I've got the Vikings to win and beat the 3.5-point spread, 3.5-point spread. Hopefully, Josh Dobbs can keep it rolling. Looked pretty decent against the Broncos, honestly. Broncos, who are kind of on a tear, they look pretty good. Had a chance to win with the drive, didn't get it. Their defense is kind of meh, and then they couldn't stop the Broncos drive. But, it was just a one possession, one. What do you call that? A possession? A drive? One drive game both ways. So,
yeah, John, the Vikings are going to win this game, and I don't see any teams that can stand in their way from getting into the playoffs, honestly, too. So,
yeah, they got a double Lions.
I'll congratulate you this early that the Vikings are playoff bound.
They got a double Lions matchup. They dropped both those that could put them in trouble, but luckily the Packers and Bears are just bad enough that they're going to probably get second in the division, and I think they're probably one of the 3 wild cards out of the NFC.
I think so.
That is going to conclude the show this week. If you are on playback, we are about to go click the link that I'm putting into the chat right now. So playback.tv/triplecross. We're going to do more giveaways over there. We're going to go over there and talk some NBA. Going to go talk hoops. Trying to stay on schedule here. We're a couple minutes late for that show. So head over there right now. If you are on YouTube, subscribe and comment and ring the bell. If you comment, we actually pick comments, and for people who can't watch live, people who comment on the videos, we pick some of the best comments and we give stuff away to them. We give them $25 gift cards sometimes.
John, I think we might have to do that on the next show too. I don't know
comment
if we have,
something good, comment something interesting. And yeah, if you're listening on audio, rate the show 5 stars and review. Every 10 reviews, I will give away a gift card to one random reviewer. I did notice we did get like an extra review last week from that. So every time we get 10 reviews, I will give a gift card away. I'm at John J3X on all the socials. I'm John. That's Casey at Niners Fan Man or at Niners_Fan Man on all the socials. And for the live viewers, we'll see you on the basketball show in the room I just linked. And for everyone else, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.